suspect Steve will be brief on the game, but any injuries out of that?
No, I think everybody's come through today okay. We've obviously left a few at home. We've got little niggles, and of course it's pre-season, you expect that. We hope that everybody, McGregor, Myler, Alex, and certainly Curtis Davis, we hope that they're going to be involved and be available for Thursday.
All right. Which is the biggest worry of those four for you? Or are they all a worry, Steve?
Well, they're all a concern. You have to say that. They're all a concern at this moment, because it's only 4 days away and it's a European tie. So, as I've said repeatedly, you can't really take risks, especially now the proper game comes out, a proper ball comes out. And I've seen pre-seasons as a player and as a manager, and they don't get any better. And I'd like to thank the fans who've come to witness a horrible draw.
Yeah.
So, fair play to them.
In terms, you've named your squad. You've got to name your squad, haven't you? So, were those four in your squad?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to be honest. We've only got 19 registered players anyway, and 4 goalkeepers. So it wasn't that difficult, Jelavic has been named. Figueroa hasn't, because he's just going to come back now. So, we've give him a prolonged pre-season after his World Cup exploits. So it really picks itself, really. And we're a little bit hamstrung because we can only pick 21, because we haven't got 4 homegrown players. So that's something which is disappointing. But you only have to, fans be aware of it, you only have to pick 21 for the 2 legs,
right,
and then it can change.
Okay. What's the nature of the 4 injuries? Can you give us a brief description?
Curtis has got a hamstring, Alex has got Achilles, Myler and McGregor have both picked up little niggly knee injuries. So that's where we stand with them.
Where do you stand in the transfer market? Robertson coming in from Dundee United. When will that be completed? And how long a deal is that going to be, Steve?
The deal will be, I would think, 3 or 4 years, I would have thought. Thankfully, we've got a fee agreed with his club. Now, obviously, we've got to get over the line with the boy, but we don't envisage any problems there. I hate talking about it just in case it doesn't happen, but he's travelling down tomorrow, so we hope that we can announce him on Monday afternoon, if possible.
What's he got as a player?
Well, he's had a rapid rise in 16 months. He's gone from non-league player into playing in the top league in Scotland, a full international, and he's only 20. So it's all about his development of him. But we really, really rate him as a player. He's young, he's athletic, he's left-footed, left-sided, and I'm sure he'll be a very big asset to us.
And would he be straight into your Premier League team?
Well, he's go straight into a squad, that's for certain.
Okay.
For certain he's going to be, if I'm paying £2 million, he better be.
Fair enough. I do take the point. I was just checking. You've been linked with Jenkinson at Arsenal. Is there anything in that?
Well, I mean, it's something that might happen in the next couple of days too. I think we've just got to check with Arsenal to see if he is available. But I think there's a lot of competition there too. But we're a bit short defensively, so we've got to look at that with Abdullah Faye going out. And we quite enjoy playing 3 centre backs a lot last year, and I would envisage that I'm going to play it a lot this year. So we need to go and get some cover in that area, and we'll try and bring in 1 or 2, 3 defenders over the next few weeks.
Is Jenkinson a loan rather than a purchase?
Yeah, he would be a loan, but I haven't really had conversation with Arsenal yet, but apparently we're hearing that he might be available. So if he is, then we're definitely interested.
What's happened to Michael Dawson? Is that one gone?
Sadly, it looks like it. It seems further away than it's ever been. It was somebody that we would have liked, because there's nothing quite like an experienced defender for the big league. But unfortunately, it seems impossible that we can get a deal done, and it seems to have dragged on so long now that I can't envisage it happening.
What about young Maguire at Sheffield United? Have you ended your interest there?
Well, practically, because we've made a good offer. We think it's a good offer. When do you see now somebody out of Division 1 coming and playing the Premier League? We've made a good offer for a very good young player, in our opinion, but we're not prepared to meet Sheffield's valuation of him, and we've put a bid in which we thought would be accepted, but obviously it hasn't. It's their prerogative, so we'll walk away from it.
Are you miles apart on that?
Well, apparently, I mean, I don't do the negotiations on top level, but It seems that way. It just seems that every time the goalpost seems to move. So it seems that we're struggling to get a deal done.
What else do you need?
Well, you haven't got to be a rocket science to realise that the squad is not that big. All of a sudden we've got 3 or 4 people not playing, which is normal, and we're down to 16 players. So, we're aware of that. There's still a long way to go in the window, and we've brought 3 in, and I would envisage, keep using that word. Yeah. I would think that another 2, 3 at least would be a requirement.
I find it maybe slightly strange you've not been really linked with many strikers. Are you not looking for a striker?
I'm quite happy in that department because Long and Jelavic we bought in January. Yeah. We've got Sagbo and Aluko's fit. So, we've got Ince and Snodgrass who both can play in that area too. So, at that particular end of the pitch, I'm okay.
Central midfielder I've seen talk of. Is there anything in that?
A central midfield player. Again, if I look in terms of numbers, it's something that we're looking at, but we'll see what's available and what comes around. And in an ideal world, you'd like 2 for every position, wouldn't you? But then again, a manager's job is always to keep knocking the door. And believe me, I always knock the door. Yeah. If it's possible, I'll try and do it.
Last one, bit of talk that Curtis Davies does want a new deal. Is there any chance of that?
Well, we spoke about that. It was a bit disappointing the way it's come out in public, because we had been talking to his agent all summer. We've had a conversation with Curtis. To be fair, he's done remarkably well all last year. But then again, so did 6 or 7 others. So if we set a precedent for one, then we've got to set a precedent for the others. So he's done remarkably well. We will have a conversation with them. But as I've said, there's 6 or 7 of them who've got a year left of their contract who did remarkably well too. He wasn't the only one.
Yeah. So will you be talking to them as well then?
Well, a contract's a contract. And we'll always honour them, but always the footballer has the last laugh. They're quick enough to try and break them, and when the time's right, they want to honour them. Curtis did fantastically well. He's our captain. We don't want to let him go. It would take an enormous bid for us even to think about it. So at the moment, let's just get on with talking to him and see how we get on.
Final thought, looking ahead to Thursday, what do you feel about your first foray into Europe as a manager?
Well, the one thing we've got to do is try and enjoy it. It's a bit of an adventure to everybody concerned. Who would have thought it? Hull City in Europe, it seems quite remarkable. But let's enjoy the journey, a bit like the FA Cup journey last year. Who knows? It's a cup competition. We've got to win, or can we win 2 legs? We know it's going to be difficult, because if we do win 2 legs, then we've got an extra 10 games before Christmas. So that takes its toll, as we've known on many good teams and many good squads. But let's have a crack, let's go and enjoy it.